Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of Hanging Out for a Living. I'm your host, Teresa Oshman, and today I have the absolute pleasure of chatting with someone who knows how to turn travel dreams into reality. My guest today is Cindy Lee, a seasoned travel expert with over 27 years of experience. She's also the founder of National Bucket List Day and the driving force behind Bucket List Coach Travel and Tours. Whether it's custom itineraries, cruises, or unforgettable bucket list adventures, Cindy's passion for helping create memories that last a lifetime. That's what she's all about. You can't go wrong with Cindy. She's also a podcast host at Bucket List Coach Web Show Live, an author, and I'm excited about her upcoming book and a fellow Mailbox Power affiliate. Plus, she's currently, as I said, working on an exciting new book, so we'll have to keep a lookout for that. So, if you're someone who dreams of checking off those once in a lifetime experiences, we all have a bucket list. I know we do, even if we don't share it, but doesn't know where to start. You're really in the right place today. Let's dive in and learn more from the bucket list coach herself. Cindy, welcome.
Oh, aloha. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Very good. Thank you.
Let's dive in. So, you've built an incredible career helping people turn their dream vacations into reality. What inspired you to get into the travel industry, and how did Bucket List Coach Travel and Tours really come to life?
Well, I started a concierge business many years ago, going to Kmart and sending someone a gift, or I had a housekeeping and personal chef business where I would send cards of gifts to remind them about, different occasions or if they were booking an upcoming service. And so I started using that, and then I woke up one day and I realized that I worked 130 hours in one week. And I
Oh,
was working for other people. I had my own business, but it literally was taking over my life. I ended up getting a very serious illness, and I just realized that it was time for me to quit existing and starting to live, because that's what happens a lot of times is people will say, well, I can't really afford a vacation. And you could take a vacation in your neighborhood. I just was in Newport Beach not too long ago, and I did a dolphin excursion for $40, and it was amazing being able to create those experiences. So people that I've met online, we actually met on a boat in Newport Beach and got off the computer, got off the phone, except for the videos that we were taking of the boat.
sure.
We just started creating those solid relationships and getting to know each other a little bit better.
I love that. And I love how you went from letting life live you to living life. That's very courageous to be able to do that. So good for you. That's so inspiring. So with a network of over 700, yes, 700 trusted travel vendors, you have access to some really amazing experiences. Can you share a story of one of the most unique or maybe unforgettable bucket list trips you've helped create?
I'm just going to step back for a few seconds.
Sure.
I want to tell your audience my biggest inspiration for what I do is
Mhm.
because of Anthony Bourdain. I spent 25 years in the industry. So when I first started a chef, I was working at Ruth's Chris Steakhouse in Las Vegas, and then that's when I started that little side hustle that ended up being a big hustle. But it's all because of Anthony Bourdain. And then, at that time he was in the kitchen just like I was. And then he started doing these travel videos, and that's what inspired me to do the next step of my travel adventure.
That's awesome. So can you share a story of the one of the most unique or unforgettable bucket list trips you've helped create?
Oh wow. There's so many. There's just so many. But I'm going to mention a couple of them, or three of
Okay.
them actually. I went to Cabo for the first time about 5 years ago, and I ended up building relationships in that community, getting to know people. One of my friends connected me to Sancho's, it's a taco restaurant right there in the marina, and I just
Mhm.
started building relationships because there's a lot of expats living there that from the U.S. that are living in Cabo. And one of the expats introduced me to an owner of a magazine, the Cabo Gringo Gazette. So they ended up doing a story. So that's where my whole brand just started exploding. And I've been booking Mexico for over 20 years. Last year for National Bucket List Day, we went to Cancun, and being that I'm a foodie, we got to check out this place that made all these carnitas. We went to the flea market, the Mayan ruins. We did the Isla Mujeres boat trip, and just absolutely amazing. But I want to say for the US, one of the most amazing experiences and has a lot of history in our country is going to Philadelphia, which I went this past October. I got to walk the stairs of the Rocky Stairs. I
Ooh.
went to John's Roasted Pork, which just to let your audience know is one of the best Philly steaks because it's made from fresh meat.
Wonderful. Wow. Yeah. One of these days I'll walk those steps. I don't know if I'll be able to.
It's a challenge. I ain't gonna lie.
Bet. I
It's
bet.
quite a
I mean,
challenge.
kudos to you for having the energy to do that. So I know you're the founder of National Bucket List Day, which is really such a really unique and cool concept, right? What's the story behind it, and how can people embrace the bucket list mindset in their daily lives?
So back in 2014, I started sharing national days, national weeks, and national months, even international. We have some, matter of fact, yesterday on my podcast, I interviewed one of my favorite tribute bands. They're called Private Eyes. And we talked about some holidays that are coming up. For instance, International Guitar Month is coming up in April, and also Music Therapy Week, which is the 10th through the 15th. So just doing things like that really inspired me. And a slew of Facebook friends said, Cindy, do you work for National Day Calendar? Why are you sharing all day long? And I said, I'm not an employee, but maybe I should see if they have an ambassador program. So I
Oh,
did that, made a phone call up to North Dakota. They said, yes, we have a celebration ambassador program. You have to post, I think it's 3 to 5 times a week. And I said, not a problem. And so they do a free article. And then I started to build a solid relationship with the staff there at National Day Calendar. And I said, I'm ready to have my own national holiday. Why not have National Networking Day? Because my book is all about networking and relationships. They said, that's great, but National Bucket List Day is available. I'm like, how is that possibly available? It was available. The .com was available. So the universe kind of aligned. It was at the
it
right time
did.
at the right place because I did do research and there was a young 20 something who had that website at one time, but it was available and I bought it. And
Good
here
for
we are
you.
3 years later. Yeah.
Wow, that's awesome. That's awesome. So you wear a lot of hats, and I love the one you're wearing right now. But figuratively speaking, you're a podcast host, author, and travel concierge. What's one piece of advice you'd give to someone looking to blend their passion with their business, like yours?
I would say never give up,
Oh,
find your why, use the National Day calendar as a way to collaborate with others. I find other influencers in my area and we go to a restaurant. There was one restaurant that was struggling. I connected them to one of my friends who's a writer for the LA Times because he did an article on me as well. And I've started to build a friendship with him. And because of that article, the restaurant had so many people going in and out. I believe they even had to turn a few people away and give them a
oh,
special gift card for, a couple days later and have accountability partners. Connect with people who are going to help you follow your dream. And don't worry about the naysayers. I talked about on the podcast yesterday about that is don't let anyone discourage you. I have a quick story about a year before I started the agency because I was blogging about food and travel for quite a long time. I was in Santa Cruz up in Northern California. I like going to surf museums because I live near Huntington Beach. I'm in the community here. And I got out of the surf museum and I always say hi. I compliment, always. It's like a ritual for me every time when I'm in the community. It's a young man. I said, hi, how are you doing? My name is Cindy. He goes, hi, my name is, and he shows me this bucket list. And I got chills from the top of my head to the bottom of my feet. What are the chances that I would meet somebody who has an actual bucket list? I think he had the Down syndrome or some kind of disability,
hmm.
but he was just beyond excited. We gave each other a hug.
Oh, I love it.
And so find a story like that. Your story is powerful.
Yeah.
So a lot of times when I first started my agency, I think I was just mentoring one or two agents and, I didn't have that many clients and I was very discouraged. But you know what kept me going?
What?
Looking at that video and the pictures that I made with that gentleman that I met right outside of the museum. So find something that's going to keep you inspired over and over and over again. You want to surround yourself with people who have more than you. And also, as you know, the 5 people that we surround ourselves with, that's who we become. So find something who's has more money than you and has better things than you. You're going to become that because you're going to mimic what they're doing.
Exactly. Oh, that's
for
such
sure.
great. What golden nuggets you dropped. Oh my gosh. Thank you so, so much. So I have to tell you, Cindy, I absolutely love your passion for creating unforgettable experiences and inspiring people to really make their trips, their dream trips, not just any trip, but their dream trips, an
Mhm.
absolute reality. So for those of you that are watching, if you're ready to start planning your own bucket list adventure, be sure to connect with Cindy. Her contact information you'll find in the description of this interview below. And hey, before you go, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell so you'll never miss an episode of Hanging Out for a Living. If you've enjoyed this conversation, drop a comment below and let us know what's one item on your bucket list. So, folks, until next time, remember the key to prosperity is in your relationships. Hang out, lend a hand, and watch the magic unfold. Thank you so much, Cindy, for your
Thank you.
time. And
Thank you.
until next time, everybody, bye for now.